Coaching rivalries are always fun to monitor, and we've seen new ones formed at the top, middle, and bottom of college football recently. We all saw the Jimbo and Nick Saban spat that got more personal than an intervention and uglier than Quasimodo and Rosie O'Donnell in a staring contest. But there's one new rivalry brewing between coaches that looks to be a little extra spicy, and that's between Lane Kiffin of Ole Miss and new Auburn head coach Hugh Freeze. Now, there are many connections to help nudge these two into a legit back and forth or tit for tat. Lane is at the place that Freeze took to their highest heights that we can remember. Even with the downturn at Oxford at the end of Freeze's tenure, there are still some warm fuzzies connecting the two, and they haven't forgot about the good times. Now, both are in the running for the Auburn job. And with Kiffin not ultimately ending up on the Plains, the door was open for Hugh Freeze to walk through. Both are very confident and offensive-minded. Now, they go about showing their confidence in different ways, but both love putting the pedal to the floor and screaming America when the offense has the ball. Now, we've seen a little trolling and back and forth on social media with the fish picture that Lane Kiffin posted after Hugh Freeze had laid claim to the subtle shot across the bow, "We just got a recruit fish pic." Now, some people will hate it, and that's okay. But there is nothing like a good old-fashioned SEC coaching rivalry to spice up the offseason even more. And we got a hell of one brewing as we speak between Kiffin and Freeze. I'm going to bring in my co-host, former Michigan quarterback, and probably David Cohn. And it's Flaming Dragon Friday, so y'all know who's sitting to my right.
This is Flaming Dragon!
And no, I will not say his name not even once today.
6.5
I don't
today,
care
fellas.
if there's
Am I involved
a
in this,
fire.
too?
6.5 today, you're both involved.
They
So I
said you're
can't say
involved.
your
Just
name.
don't look
Nope.
at him. Don't look at him the whole show.
Okay, so we're
you look
just
at
here.
me.
We're mind
It's us. We're
here.
mind mouthing.
I do have questions.
Can.
I do
Can.
have questions.
Me and
though.
you.
Don't take the easy way out.
Tanner, does that?
You think you can use my Govey out here?
Okay, so that's extra bad.
Just call him a JT.
And I didn't say that. That doesn't count against me. I'm asking a question.
You call me a JT?
You just call him a JT. Look, you can call him anything you want. Just don't call him a JT.
Okay.
Just don't do
All
that.
right.
But
I'll call you an FD. A flaming
But speaking about guys who have been calling each other JTs for a while, look, I love this dynamic.
Yeah, this
we
will be
need
fun.
this. Coaching rivalries are fantastic in sports.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we give them enough time a day. We always talk about this quarterback versus that quarterback. We'll look at the head coaching matchups, but everybody's out there shaking hands before. No, there's nothing like having a little bit of, maybe not at the surface level. It may come off as mocking or just joking around, or yeah, we're still buddies, but we give each other a hard time. No, I want. Sometimes it's good for you guys to really just not like each other.
Yeah.
Just at the end of the day, personally, from man to man, I don't like you and where you're at. You don't like me and where I'm at. Like Jim Harbaugh and Ryan Day, I don't think they like each other.
Oh no.
I really don't think they like each other.
Yeah.
I think it's great for the game.
No, this one's extra spicy, especially the dynamic of. I mean, Lane Kiffin is just always going to be an interesting
bad boy.
personality. Yeah, the Joker.
Yeah,
he is the Joker of college
He is the
football.
Joker.
Now you add on top of that Hugh Freeze coming into first year at Auburn, but was a coach at Ole Miss. Is, the last time that they had some success, and both programs trying to claw their way to the top of the SEC West. That's what makes this interesting to me. I was looking at the transfer portal again today. Moved yet again. LSU now number 1. Auburn finds themselves number 3. And we talked about Ole Miss climbing up that ladder. They sit at 13 right now in the transfer portal rankings. My question to you is, now they've gotten yet another quarterback, Spencer Sanders, coming over from Oklahoma State after they had already gotten Walker Howard from LSU, and Jackson Dart's still on the roster. Is their ranking in the transfer portal a little skewed because only one quarterback can play?
Yeah, only one can play. I will always default regardless if you're trying to flip a roster from scratch or if you've been at a place for a while, you want to breed competition at every position, including the quarterback position. Mm-hmm. And you have to think, nowadays in the era of the transfer portal, your backup quarterback is most likely gone. He's most likely leaving. If he's good enough to play, or give you a chance to play and he doesn't win the job because there's a better guy, your third string quarterback is really your backup with the way it's worked in the transfer portal. You're probably not keeping him. You look at the LSU situation right now. You've got Jaden Daniels, you have Nussmeier, and you had Walker Howard. Well, Walker Howard was your third string guy, and now he's bounced. Well, if Nussmeier doesn't win the job, which I don't think he's going to, and you've heard Brian Kelly talk about Jaden Daniels, well, he's going to leave. How do you keep a steady backup quarterback in the era of the transfer portal? That's the biggest question. Well, you get a bunch of guys in there. The more you have, the more chance you have of a backup to stay. Only one guy can win the job, and you've created a great competition. Now, when I look at what they have going on over there, this tells me more about Jackson Dart than it does about Walker Howard or Spencer Sanders. I think Lane Kiffin, after this past season, and we talked about it ad nauseum during the year, he wasn't seeing linebackers in coverage. You'd see some good steps taken by Jackson Dart, but then he'd take 2 steps back. I don't think Lane Kiffin trusts him. I don't think Lane Kiffin thinks he's going to be the guy to help resurrect them where they were before they went on that losing skid in the back half of last year when that schedule got tougher. I think Spencer Sanders is going to be the guy. I think Walker Howard's going to be the backup. And after spring, and we've talked about this, you're going to see a lot of quarterbacks get back in the portal. That's why I tell these Auburn fans that are just panicking right now, just panic at the disco. We're not going to have a quarterback. Maybe Ashford can figure it out throwing. There are going to be quarterbacks that leave during the spring that realize they're not winning the job. It's like another opening or mass exodus of players coming to the reality of, hey, maybe I didn't win this job. And you say, oh, well, why would you want a backup quarterback to come in? I don't know. You saw what Joe Burrow did. Yeah. We've seen what some of these backup quarterbacks have been able to come in and do. Like, I don't know, Cam Rising. Do I need to keep going down the list? So, look, it's an interesting time, but the quarterback room at Ole Miss, I mean, they're deeper than the Pacific Ocean right now.
No doubt. Flaming Dragon?
Yes. Well, if anything, you got to give Ole Miss credit. You got to give Lane Kiffin credit. I mean, the guy has always been able to get a quarterback. He's always been able to coach up a quarterback. But you also have to give Auburn credit where it's due, especially what Hugh Freeze is doing and what he walked into. I mean, that roster was a disaster. I mean, it still somewhat is. And he's, you said, number 3 right now in the portal.
Yep.
This is the rivalry everybody needs. Next year, I cannot wait for this game. I don't know if this game is at Ole Miss or at Auburn. I'm not 100% on
I believe it's at Auburn.
Is that Auburn? Well, this game is going to be rocking in the jungle. Look, there's enough hate between these two teams. There's a lot of hate between mostly all SEC teams. There'll never be a problem if you add a little bit more on top of it.
Yeah.
It just makes things even better.
Hey, YouTube, what's up? Appreciate you guys checking us out. What would help us out a ton, we would consider this a favor. We would actually owe you one. We need you to subscribe, turn on that notification bell, hit that like button, and continue to share the show so we can keep growing at the pace we are and even faster. You guys are the best audience out there. Shout out to the Booster Club. Subscribe.